Hey folks, and welcome to CarStarz' 10 Cool Facts about Xander's 67 Pontiac GTO in the 2002 film XXx. Fact number 1. Eddie Paul's team at his custom car shop in El Segundo, California, was primarily responsible for obtaining and preparing the 5 different 1967 Pontiacs, all initially hardtop models, used to portray Xander Cage's GTO, and they scoured multiple sources to secure enough donor cars in suitable condition for the film's demanding shoot. According to interviews with Paul, some of the vehicles were genuine GTOs that retained much of their original sheet metal, powertrain, and trim, while others were actually Le Mans or Tempest models converted to full GTO spec, being used as the heavy stunt vehicles to save time and costs. Once the necessary base cars were lined up, Paul's shop worked quickly to transform them into the signature intimidating GTOs we would later see on screen, each purpose-built for their respective uses with a number of modifications that we'll get into the details of later on. Fact number 2. The authentic 67 GTOs used in the film's production were said to have retained their 400 V8 engines, which in their stock form and equipped with the 4-barrel carb, produced around 360 gross horsepower. It is also known that the authentic GTOs used as the hero cars in the film maintained their mostly stock setups and drivetrains, with the 400 V8 sending the power to 3-speed automatic transmissions. For the more intense action sequences, some stunt cars were fitted with modified high-performance ZZ4 350 V8 crate engines, reportedly modified to put out over 400 horsepower. The modified Le Mans and Tempest cars, masquerading as GTOs, were considered more expendable and were the stunt cars that took the most abuse. Fact number 3. The first-generation Pontiac GTO, introduced in 1964 and lasting through 1967, is often hailed as the true genesis of muscle cars, a claim closely tied to the vision and ingenuity of Pontiac engineer and eventual division head John DeLorean, who sought to inject some high-powered excitement into the brand's lineup, making automotive performance more accessible and affordable. DeLorean and his fellow colleagues devised the idea of dropping a potent 389 V8 into the mid-sized Tempest platform, transforming an ordinary family car into a tire-smoking street machine. Rather than releasing a brand new model, Pontiac initially offered the GTO as an optional package, which stood for Gran Turismo Omologato, on the Tempest, which allowed them to skirt General Motors' corporate restrictions that limited engine displacement in smaller cars. The public response was immediate and enthusiastic, with buyers embracing the GTO's combination of big V8 power, aggressive styling cues like dual hood scoops, and a relatively affordable price tag. This potent formula, from an era when horsepower rules were still being written, positioned the GTO squarely at the forefront of the burgeoning muscle car craze. Fact number 4. Were any of the many wild-looking GTO modifications we see on screen actually functional, you ask? Well, mostly no, but on the functional side of the fence, beyond the aforementioned aftermarket modified crate engines in the stunt cars, cooling systems, brakes, and suspension components were similarly enhanced, such as larger radiators, power brakes, and upgraded shocks to maintain control during the aggressive stunt driving. On the other hand, the non-functional add-ons targeted the GTO's cinematic flair. Prop rocket launchers and other gadgets integrated into the bodywork and interior had no real functions, serving only cosmetic purposes to convey Xander's over-the-top persona. Most interior displays and backlit gauges were similarly decorative, wired to external power sources so they could flash convincingly on camera without interfering in the car's real electrical systems. One standout eye-catcher of the GTO's exterior was the custom Blueberry Blass, or more typically referred to as Blasberry paint, a unique and expensive color-shifting finish created by renowned Hollywood car builder Eddie Paul, costing a hefty $1,300 per pint. This paint made the car instantly recognizable and added to its cinematic presence. Additionally, the menacing side pipes and fire-spitting blower hood scoop on some units were also purely for aesthetic purposes rather than actual functioning performance upgrades. Ultimately, the team struck a balance with outfitting the GTOs with genuine performance-based modifications to endure the rigors of filming, while layering on a slick set of theatrical bells and whistles for visual appeal. Fact number 5. The rigorous stunts performed during filming pushed the GTOs, and all vehicles used in the movie for that matter, to their limits. High-speed chases and other aggressive stunt work were commonplace on set, showcasing the GTO's raw power and agility on screen, not to mention its utter classic coolness as well. These stunts, although appearing wild and uncontrolled on screen, actually required precision planning and multiple takes to satisfy the director's high expectations, leading to significant wear and tear on stunt vehicles, especially on their tires. In fact, across the entire production there were about 500 stuntmen involved, and a staggering 200 sets of tires were consumed across all the many stunt vehicles used for the film, and you can be sure that the 5 GTOs ate up more than a few sets themselves. The GTOs were key players in many scenes, particularly the film's climax involving high-speed sequences and technical maneuvers that not only tested the GTO's capabilities, but also their endurance. Each thrashed tire marked another layer of dedication to achieving cinematic perfection. Fact number 6. In 2011, one of the screen-used authentic 67 GTOs went up for bid at a Barrett-Jackson auction. This vehicle, although a memorable part of Vin Diesel's portrayal of Xander Cage, and still featuring most of its custom modifications specifically for its on-screen role, didn't quite receive the level of attention one might expect for such a movie car. Inside, the car was still equipped with its numerous switches, lights, and gadgets that, while largely decorative, gave the impression of advanced spy-grade technology. The car also still rode on aftermarket 5-spoke wheels paired with BF Goodrich tires, and it still sported the original unique Blasberry paint job, the non-functional blower hood scoop, and side pipes. Despite its iconic status, the car was sold with a scrap title, meaning it was not certifiable for road use and was intended as a collector's item or display piece only. The sale price, while respectable at $28,600, was considered quite modest for a movie car of its stature, likely due to its limited usability under a scrap title. Fact number 7. One of the original screen-used authentic 67 GTOs from the original film made a memorable cameo in the 2017 sequel entitled XXx: Return of Xander Cage. This car, which was a key on-screen vehicle for Vin Diesel's character in the original film, was brought back to evoke nostalgia and reconnect audiences with the franchise's roots. The GTO featured in the sequel was one of the surviving original hero cars used from the first movie. The car was part of a collection owned by Tom Sherwood, a dedicated enthusiast who had acquired 2 of the original GTOs after production wrapped on the first film. In 2015, when Sherwood learned of the upcoming sequel film, with Vin Diesel returning to the franchise, he reached out to the filmmakers and offered one of his cars for use in the new movie. The car retained its iconic modifications from the first film, including that very expensive Blasberry paint job along with the prop blower scoop and side pipes. Fact number 8. In 2019, Sherwood had the privilege of showcasing his special screen-used 67 GTO on an episode of Jay Leno's Garage, making it an even more famous car. This particular GTO from the film, known as the Flame Car for reference on set, was one of the GTOs once fitted with some special effects equipment for the film. Originally a hardtop, the car underwent significant modifications for its cinematic role, including the removal of the roof to facilitate specific stunts. As we can tell from its nickname and the tattletale fire damage on the hood scoop's paintwork, this was the car used for the short-fire flamethrower burst scene, but this car also featured the very cool revolving seat weapons storage compartment concealing prop weapons. During the episode, Leno and Sherwood delved into the car's unique history and modifications, culminating in a test drive, piloted by the one and only Jay Leno, of course, highlighting the GTO's performance legacy and its role in cinematic history. Fact number 9. So, are all 5 screen-used GTOs still around today, you ask? Well, beyond Sherwood's 2 known screen-used GTOs, there is one of the 350-powered stunt cars on public display residing in the Hollywood Cars Museum in Branson, Missouri, which is a different car than the Hero GTO that sold at Barrett-Jackson in 2011, which has since fallen out of the public eye. At least one of the stunt GTOs was terminally damaged during filming and was reportedly abandoned somewhere in Prague, where much of the movie was shot. It was apparently used for extreme stunts like the high-speed impact from the blasting through the cart for the missile shot scene, or possibly some other stunt gone wrong, rendering it unsalvageable. Although the exact screen-used GTO survivor count is tough to distinguish at this point, now 23 years later, it's good to know that most of them portraying Xander's GTO from the film survived with minimal damages to continue to be observed and cherished by film fans and car enthusiasts for years to come. Fact number 10. There have been a number of official scale models and various sizes of Xander's 67 GTO over the years, most of which have long since fallen out of retail circulation though. However, probably the best replica model of Xander's GTO you'll find out there on the resale market would be this fairly well-detailed 1/18 scale example from Ertl. These are out of retail circulation today, but they can typically be had on eBay for around the $150 mark. As for plastic model kits, there was at least one official 1/25th scale direct replica model released by MPC at one point, but these are apparently quite difficult to find now as there aren't even any on eBay at the moment. So, the best bet for you model car builders for crafting a replica would be to start with a general 67 GTO model kit, like this more recent 1/25th scale example from MPC, as it is most likely nearly the same as the earlier release kit anyway. I will put a link in the description below to where you can pick one of these up for around 20 bucks for those interested. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw here. You guys are all great. See you next time.